What if I told you the greatest criminal mind in literature wasn't born evil? What if he was a product of his time, of a broken system, of a world where justice was a luxury only the rich could afford? This is not Sherlock Holmes' story. This is the origin of his greatest rival. Welcome to Moriarty the Patriot, an anime that doesn't just flip the script, it rips it to shreds and writes its own manifesto. No spoilers, just vibes. Let's talk about vengeance, class warfare, and one man's elegant descent into moral ambiguity. Now let's set the stage. We're in Victorian England, a time of progress, steam trains, cravats, gas lamps glowing through the London fog. But also, it's a time of suffocating hierarchy where bloodline determines worth, where the poor toil in alleys while nobles drink champagne above them. Let's just be frank. This world isn't fair. And fairness isn't even a part of the conversation. That's where Moriarty, the Patriot, begins. An anime adaptation of Ryosuke Takuchi and Hikaru Miyoshi's manga, loosely inspired by author Conan Doyle's iconic works. But instead of glorifying the detective in the deerstalker hat, this anime shifts its gaze to the man behind the crimes, William James Moriarty, a nobleman, a scholar, a revolutionary. And what is his mission? To burn down a corrupt system and rebuild it from the ashes, using crime as his tool and chaos as his strategy. This is an origin story, but not the kind that asks for your sympathy. It demands your attention and maybe, just maybe, your admiration. Let's talk characters because this show is not a one man act. At the center is William, the middle of the brothers, and the mind behind it all. He's calm, elegant, measured. He doesn't shout, he doesn't threaten, he simply calculates every movement, every phrase, every murder. But he's not a lone wolf. Albert, his older brother, is the diplomat, a man of influence, cunning, and access to the elite of society. And then there's Lewis, the younger brother. He's quiet, loyal, and deadly when he needs to be. Together, the Moriarty brothers are a well oiled machine, a revolutionary engine disguised as a noble family. And then there's the detective. Yes, Sherlock Holmes does appear. And no, this is not a one sided chess match. The intellectual duels between Holmes and Moriarty are pure cinematic gold. It's not just brain versus brain, it's ideology versus ideology, vision versus law. Every secondary characters, which include Scotland Yard officers, rogue assassins, disgraced nobles, they add weight to the story. They aren't just caricatures, they're pawns, knights, queens in Moriarty's grand design. But every piece has a story. Now let's dive into the heart of the show, the themes. Moriarty the Patriot isn't just an anime about crime. It's about justice, or more specifically, what justice even means. Is it lawful? Is it moral? Or is it simply a tool of those in power? The show forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. When someone commits murder, but does it to protect the powerless, are they a criminal or are they a hero? William doesn't kill for fun. He kills for balance, for reform, for a world where your birth doesn't define your value. This anime dances on the razor thin line between righteousness and revenge, between savior and sinner. And the way it weaves this tension through psychological games, beautifully written monologues, and symbolic imagery is what makes this anime unforgettable. From a technical perspective, Moriarty the Patriot is stunning in very subtle ways. The animation, done by Production IG, isn't flashy, but it doesn't need to be. It's sleek, refined, and it perfectly matches the tone. London feels alive. It also feels dirty, foggy, and dangerous. Every alleyway has tension. Every ballroom has secrets. And the character designs are sharp. Suits pressed to perfection, eyes glinting with purpose, silhouettes often shrouded in candlelight or moonlight. The soundtrack, one word, elegant. It leans into orchestral scores, violins that creep in during suspenseful scenes, piano solos that echo during moral breakdowns. It's the kind of soundtrack that doesn't overpower but enhances. You definitely feel it under your skin. And the voice acting, whether it's watching subbed or dubbed, I prefer subbed, is consistently excellent. Williams' calm and seductive voice is a perfect contrast to Sherlock's chaotic energy. The Moriarty brothers each have distinct delivery styles emphasizing their specific personalities. It all feels very calculated, just like Moriarty himself. Moriarty the Patriot doesn't just tell one long story. It's a series of interconnected cases. Each arc plays like a standalone mystery, but they're stitched together by a greater revolution brewing behind the surface. The early episodes are episodic in a sense. It's introducing us to the Moriarty's methods and morality. But as the series progresses, a larger chessboard is revealed. Rivalries deepen, loyalties are tested, history is rewritten. And if you're a fan of the classic Sherlock Holmes stories, don't worry. You'll find clever nods and the reimagery of familiar tales, but with a twist. This time, the focus is on why the crimes are committed, not just how to solve them. The pacing is crisp, no arcs overstays its welcome. Every conversation has meaning, every glance carries weight. And when the final confrontation begins to stir, you'll feel it coming like a storm. So, who is this anime for? If you like psychological thrillers like Death Note, historical intrigue like Black Butler, or morally complex characters like in Code Geass, then this anime is for you. If you enjoy rich dialogue, anti heroes, and watching systems being dismantled by brilliant minds, then this anime is for you. If you want action packed shonen fights, flashy transformations, or slice of life school drama, well, this anime might not be your flavor, but if you crave storytelling with purpose, where the villain might just be right, then Moriarty the Patriot deserves your time. It's not about solving the crime, it's about why the crime was necessary in the first place. So, what do you think? Is Moriarty a monster, a martyr, a mastermind, or maybe, just maybe, a mirror held up to society? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this anime review, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Until next time, my name is Mecca Mike. For all the socials, that is Meccha Mike, and I'm signing off. Stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the villain has the better story.